In a significant and unprecedented move, President Donald Trump has dismissed General Charles Q. Brown Jr. from his position as chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. This decision, announced on February 21, 2025, marks a substantial shift in the U.S. military's top leadership. General Brown, who had served as chairman since 2023, was notable for being the first African American to lead a branch of the United States Armed Forces. His tenure was characterized by active involvement in key military operations, including conflicts in Ukraine and the Middle East. The dismissal of General Brown is part of a broader shake-up within the Pentagon. Alongside Brown, Chief of Naval Operations Admiral Lisa Franchetti and Vice Chief of Staff of the Air Force General Jim Slife were also relieved of the duties. These actions reflect the administration's intent to restructure military leadership, emphasizing alignment with President Trump's policy objectives. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has been vocal about the need to remove leaders who, in his view, promote wokeism within the military, suggesting a desire to shift away from diversity and inclusion initiatives. In place of General Brown, President Trump has nominated retired Air Force Lieutenant General Dan Raisin Kane as the new chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. This nomination is notable not only because Kane has been pulled from retirement but also because, if confirmed, he would be the first individual to serve as chairman without having previously held a four-star general or admiral rank. Kane's career includes service as the Associate Director for Military Affairs at the Central Intelligence Agency from 2021 to 2024, and he is recognized for his loyalty to President Trump and his alignment with the administration's national security priorities. The decision to appoint Kane has raised questions within military and political circles. Traditionally, the role of chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff is filled by an officer with extensive experience at the highest levels of military command. Kane's unconventional path, including his time outside active duty and his roles in intelligence and special access programs, represents a departure from established norms. This move suggests a potential shift in how military leadership is selected, possibly prioritizing ideological alignment over conventional career trajectories. The broader implications of this leadership overhaul are significant. The removal of senior military officials who have been advocates for diversity and inclusion indicates a possible reorientation of military culture and policies. General Brown, for instance, was known for his support of diversity and equity initiatives and had openly expressed support for movements like Black Lives Matter. The current administration's actions may signal a shift away from these values, prompting discussions about the future direction of the U.S. military. Reactions to these changes have been mixed. Democratic leaders have criticized the firings, viewing them as an attempt to politicize the military and undermine its nonpartisan nature. They argue that such actions could erode trust in military institutions and compromise their integrity. On the other hand, some Republican figures have supported the president's decisions, emphasizing the need for military leaders who are aligned with the administration's vision and who prioritize combat readiness over what they perceive as social engineering. Within the armed forces, these abrupt changes have generated uncertainty and concern. The military has long prided itself on stability and a clear chain of command. Sudden leadership changes, especially those perceived as politically motivated, can impact morale and the effectiveness of military operations. Service members are now navigating this new landscape, assessing how these leadership shifts will affect their roles and the broader mission of the military. The nomination of Dan Kane is expected to face scrutiny during the Senate confirmation process. Lawmakers will likely examine his qualifications, experience, and the implications of appointing a chairman without traditional four-star command experience. This process will be a focal point for debates about the future of military leadership and the criteria used to select those at its helm. The outcome will have lasting effects on civil-military relations and the operational direction of the armed forces. This episode is emblematic of the broader tensions between the current administration and established military norms. President Trump's approach reflects a desire to assert greater executive control over the military, potentially redefining its culture and operational priorities. As these events unfold, they will contribute to ongoing discussions about the balance between civilian leadership and military autonomy, as well as the role of personal loyalty versus professional merit in military appointments. In conclusion, the firing of General Charles Q. Brown Jr. and the nomination of Dan Kane represent a pivotal moment in U.S. military history. These actions not only alter the leadership landscape of the armed forces but also raise fundamental questions about the values and priorities that will guide the military moving forward. As the nation observes these developments, the decisions made in the coming weeks will have profound implications for the future of U.S. defense policy and civil-military relations. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more news updates.